Good afternoon. This is JC, St. Louis's oldest living hippie, and I'm at the Raw Story site. And this article just scares the holy hell out of me, and it should scare every American. Uh, Trump is talking about running for again in 2028 for a third term, which is against the 22nd Amendment. 22nd Amendment limits presidents to 2 terms or 8 years in office, and he's going to try and get around that in 2028 and run again. The dirty bastard wants to be a king, a fascist, a king. He doesn't want to be president. He wants to be a dictator, and this is how he'll do it. But the 22nd Amendment probably can't be repealed, but he may run even though it's illegal. And if he does, how the fuck are we going to stop him? Listen to this. This is just horrifying.
Figure something out. Ominous comment suggests Trump may not leave in 2028. President-elect Donald Trump is already toying with the idea of pursuing a third term in office, in direct violation of the U.S. Constitution. MSNBC host Jonathan Lemire tweeted Wednesday that during a recent meeting with the House Republican Conference, Trump suggested that his second term in the White House may not be his last. This would contradict the 22nd Amendment to the Constitution, which prohibits anyone who has been elected for 2 terms from running for a third time. I suspect I won't be running again unless you say, he's so good we've got to figure something else out, Trump said. Read more. Trump in 2028, GOP-aligned organization calls for abolition of presidential term limits. The 22nd Amendment is explicit in its imposition of term limits on U.S. presidents. When George Washington served out his second term as the first president, he expressed that it was improper for anyone to serve more than 2 4-year sessions in the nation's highest office, and that others who served after him should follow suit. In 1799, Connecticut Governor John Trumbull, who was military secretary during the Revolutionary War, asked Washington to run for president a third time. Washington responded that he feared if he did so, he would be charged with concealed ambition, and that he had ardent wishes to pass through the veil of life in retirement, undisturbed in the remnant of the days I have to sojourn here. But former President Franklin D. Roosevelt broke with the 2-term tradition, and won 2 more terms as president in 1940 and 1944, before dying in office in 1945 just months after he was elected to his 4th term. While Roosevelt was immensely popular after guiding the nation through the Great Depression and World War II and successfully argued that America needed stable leadership to get through the war, Congress sought to prevent future presidents from remaining in office for more than 2 terms by passing the 22nd Amendment through both chambers in 1947. If Trump were to seek a third term, he would have to repeal the 22nd Amendment, which requires both 2/3 of the House and Senate along with 2/3 of state legislatures. The only amendment in U.S. history to have been repealed is the 18th Amendment, which established prohibition of alcohol. And that repeal only came about with the ratification of the 21st Amendment in 1933. Read more. Revealed. Trump's Project 2025 agenda aims for total control of the federal government. It's unlikely that an anti-22nd Amendment repeal effort would succeed, particularly with enough time to grant the 78-year-old Trump the ability to run for a third time. The most recent 27th Amendment took 202 years to ratify after it was first proposed in 1790, which concerned pay increases for members of Congress. Still, some Trump loyalists have posited the repeal of the 22nd Amendment. Earlier this year, writer Peter Tungette of the American Conservative, one of the 100-plus advisory groups supporting Project 2025, proposed that Trump should be free to run for a third term, and framed it as a pro-democracy initiative. If, by 2028, voters feel Trump has done a poor job, they can pick another candidate, but if they feel he has delivered on his promises, why should they be denied the freedom to choose him once more? Tungette argued. As with prohibition, it is simply a matter of finding the will to get rid of a bad idea that needlessly limits Americans' freedom. Read more. Essence of Authoritarianism. Expert warns Project 2025 would create Trump autocracy.
There you go. Trump the dictator. It's happening. We're living in a country where we're going to have a dictator. And the Republicans won control of the House, too. So we have a Republican president, Republicans controlling the Senate, and Republicans controlling the House of Representatives. This is going to be so fucked up and unbelievable. It's just going to be a Greek tragedy. It's going to be such a fucking mess our country is before Trump and his cronies get done with it. I don't know how we'll be able to live here after they're done screwing around with everything and messing up everything in our government. Unfucking believable. This is JC, St. Louis's oldest living hippie, saying, fuck you, Trump. Fuck you for a 2028 run. No way in hell. And fuck Vance. Fuck all the Project 2025 Republicans. Fuck everybody who voted for Trump. I don't care who you are. You're no longer my friend, and I don't have any feelings for you. In fact, I fucking hate your guts if you voted for Trump. So, to all my friends, family, and followers, I love you all. And so I'm going to say, pox some more, Jack, and keep on trucking.